that's there. Don't forget that you're watching Good Eating with Marlo. My name is Marlo, and we have a food show every Monday at 5 p.m. This Monday is a 2-hour show, so we're at the top of our second hour. And look at our opening ad. Stonington Lobster, not just lobster, Maine lobster. They actually fish daily for these lobsters, so this is literally right out of the water on the docks by dedicated lobster women and men and shipped directly to you. We're gonna be offering to you an amazing chance to be able to get your choice of the 6 count, which is $107.95, or 4 payments of $26.99. Use FlexPay here, and definitely use the HSN card if you open up an account, because this is a great place to get your $40 savings, okay? Or you can choose to bump it up to the 12 count. Now, it's interesting because when you bump it up to the 12 count, the price doesn't double, and you actually save $35. So the 12 count is actually the better buy, because on the 6 count, you save roughly $22. On the 12 count, you save $35. You make the decision on what's best for you, but if you've tried these before, you know that they're amazing. I sent these to my mom for Mother's Day because I wasn't gonna be able to be with her, and I was telling Chef Eric, who's gonna be joining us by Skype, that they sent me pictures yesterday and they looked so good. We couldn't get out to the restaurants, and so many of us are missing seafood. Chef Eric, this is such a beautiful way to be able to bring restaurant quality Maine lobsters into your home. Are you there, Chef?
I am here. How are you, Marlon? Great to see you. Welcome to our kitchen.
So it's nice to be there. We don't see you yet, so I know that we're going to be making the connection. Let's talk about Maine lobster and why Maine lobster is sold more at a marketplace, and you're going to find Maine lobster even when you dine out to a restaurant on the menus. Most cases they don't put the price next to it.
Yeah, you get that market price. Well, Maine lobster is prized, and the reason why it's certified Maine lobster is because not all lobster is created equal. There's cold water lobster tails, there's warm water lobster tails, tails from all over the world. But what makes the Maine lobster tail so great is that, like you said, the lobster men and women from Stonington will gather lobsters, harvest them every day, bring it back to the docks in Stonington, Maine, where everything is flash frozen and shipped directly to you at home. They're not gonna be sitting on a shelf. They're not in a warehouse somewhere waiting. And what makes the Maine lobster so sweet and succulent is the cold, pristine water that they get the lobsters from, that's in the Gulf of Down East Maine. And the lobsters, because that water is so great, the lobsters just have an unbelievably clean diet, and that's why you get that pearly white and almost sweet, succulent flesh that's just great when you grill it, broil it, poach it, whatever it is that you want to do. You're going to be getting such a decadent treat. And like you said about sending it to your mom, the last time you and I had aired this, we had shipped some, or excuse me, we didn't ship it, but my cousin-in-law, Julie, had bought some. And because, like you said, her and her husband, Dennis, were having a very special anniversary. They couldn't get out to the restaurants. So they brought and created a sweet, delicious meal that the both of them could enjoy in their own homes. And that's what's great about this, is that it's getting shipped frozen to your house on ice, and then it's going to last up to a year in your freezer, if it could even last that long. But that is just delicious, beautiful Maine lobster.
They are so great. These are so perfect year-round, but as we are all quarantining and we're home and we can't get out to the restaurants, I love the idea of being able to have something like this in your freezer. Both the 6 count and the 12 count are both very popular. Please don't forget that we do offer FlexPay. If you're a new customer and you've never shopped with us before, it simply means you don't have to pay the full amount at one time, which is nice. You can spread those payments out over the next 4 months, and that's great. I haven't been out to a restaurant for a lobster dinner in a long time. I imagine if you went out to have lobster, especially if you had lobster and our Pure Land steaks, New York strip steaks, you're looking at least, what, $75, $80 per meal. It can get very expensive. And so the cost savings when you're buying it in this way really is so affordable, but it also allows you to be able to cook these on a Monday night or on a Tuesday night. You can grill them. I love that we've done some unconventional things like made a lobster and macaroni and cheese. I mean, can you imagine how decadent, how yummy that is? To my left here, we've got some lobster rolls. I mean, how fun would it be for you to be able to look up some recipes and try some new things? I think a lot of us are doing that now. You know, you talked about Chef Eric sending these as gifts. I've done it. I don't know anybody who would love to get a package on their door for an anniversary or for a graduation or for Mother's Day, or Mother's Day just passed, but Father's Day coming up, and they see lobster. I mean, that's really saying something and really, I think, offering a very special gift to someone.
It really is. And you hit the nail on the head, Marlo, with the mac and cheese that you have there.
Ooh,
you can get a side
pasta.
of macaroni and cheese. And yeah, this is a lobster scampi. You want to talk about some ideas that you could do? We did a lobster scampi. We kind of mirrored what you have there in the studio, the lobster roll, which is so popular up in the Northeast. And then we did our own little version of surf and turf, coming up with the big shoulders ribs. So real decadent meal. And then we also kind of turned its head on a Cobb salad. So instead of ham, we actually put the lobster on there, which it's just a super decadent.
I want to talk about the tails, and this is going to sound funny, but the size of the tails, right? Because these are 4 to 5 ounces each.
Yes.
Which is a really nice portion.
It's a perfect portion, and what's great is that we have them in half on the grill here, and you could split them in half and consider that sort of an appetizer portion. So if you're going to have your family or a guest or two over, you can split them in half and get a little appetizer portion, and then just present it that way, where you can grill it. And if you actually need more ideas, is the bag actually will tell you 2 different ways of how to cook it. It gives you a baked version and then also a boiled version.
Yes.
So even if you don't know exactly what to do with the lobster, it's going to tell you, because on the Stonington Lobster bag, it tells you a couple different recipes, and it's going to help you right from the bag of what to do. And I love that it's actually a zip top bag, because you could pick out 1 or 2, zip it up, and put it in the freezer.
So I have a true story to share with you. I had a friend to call me earlier today, and he was telling me about how, I said, well, how did you celebrate Mother's Day? And he said, oh, I went to a seafood, because some of our restaurants are open for pickup. And here in Florida, we're like 25% open. And he said, oh, I went to a seafood restaurant to go get, pick up a seafood dinner for my wife. And then he said the line was wrapped around the building. So I know that there is a big desire for delicious seafood, and just like with protein, you know, the quantities are fluctuating with how to get great quality, right, in this market that we're in. Here's a way for you to be able to get it fresh right out of the water. The fishermen and fisherwomen, every single day, they're fishing for these. There's no middleman here. We've had a great business with Stonington Maine Lobster. You can read the reviews. You just decide which one is gonna work best for you. Do you want 6 of them, or would you rather have the 12 count? Remember, you get a better buy with the 12 count. And when you're looking at the FlexPay, one is around $26 on FlexPay a month. The other one is on $46 and something on FlexPay. So if you open up a new HSN card, you'll get $40 off, but they're so good. A crab boil, a seafood boil. If you want to try your hand at, you know, the seafood scampi, they would be delicious. We've got single ship and auto ship. And I'm going to ask my producer, who's Pat. Pat, which one is the most popular? Is the single ship? So the single ship, okay, the single ship is the most popular. Now, here's the thing. These are on special because it looks like, I didn't do the math, so it looks like you're saving $30 off of our regular price by getting the 12 count, and around $22, yeah, for the, I only mention that because if you do love lobster, I love lobster. If you do love lobster, this is a great way to secure the auto ship. Never be afraid of auto ship because remember, you can cancel at any time and you can customize it. So if you only want this maybe twice a year, but you want to lock in that great value, then you can set it up that way if you'd like to. Hey, if you've tried our lobster, I want you to give us a call. I want it, over almost 400 of you have already ordered. I miss delicious seafood. What about you, Chef Eric? Then that's why this is so great because we can have it shipped directly to your front door.
It takes the guesswork out. It's great. This whole day for HSN is great because of so many great foods that you can get delivered right to your door.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about going out because what's going on now is I don't know when my supermarket's going to be getting a delivery. Sometimes they have what I need, sometimes they don't. So depending if it's whatever kind of seafood or meat that you're going, I don't know exactly what's going to be there. I love that I can trust on HSN and have it delivered right to my door. And lobster is just a decadent treat. I remember as a kid, my mom taking me to a special restaurant, and I was allowed to get lobster. And I knew every time we went there, it was going to be a treat to have. And the fact that you can bring that home and do this at home and create your own memories with this type of decadent food, I think is just something really special, especially with everything that's going on right now.
So one of my friends, Karen Perry, on our Facebook page, she wants to know if the 4 to 5 ounce includes the shell, or is it just the weight of the meat? Do you know the answer to that?
That includes, that is the meat weight, or excuse me, that is with the shell. So you're going to be getting, this whole tail is going to be somewhere between 4 and 5 ounces.
Okay,
right,
so it includes the tail. That was a very good question.
That's an excellent question, but here's a tail that we took out of the shell and cooked. I mean, that's a definite substantial piece of meat right there. So anywhere between 4 and 5 ounces is the perfect size because at that size you're going to get the sweetness and that pearly white and the succulent taste that the Maine lobster tails are known for around the world.
So Johnny makes a comment on our Facebook page, and I just want to mention it. He says, I can get cheaper live lobster. And he's actually right about that, isn't he? To a certain degree, right? And we talked about that because often people will go, that's expensive for lobster. But just like when you're buying a diamond, right? There are different grades of diamond. Same thing is true with the lobster, right? You can get the cheapo diamond, or you can get a deep flawless diamond. Maine lobsters are going to be the top of the line. So I get what you're saying. I hear you, you know, but these are certainly an opportunity for you to be able to get something special. Do you want to talk about that once again? Because I do feel like it's an opportunity for us to learn, right? It's a teachable moment because I know I've said that before. Gosh, I go into the supermarket, you know, where I shop for my groceries, and I see lobsters, like lobster tails at the supermarket, but it's not Maine lobster.
Right, and I also see them at our you know, at a seafood counter at our supermarket, and they might have it for a certain amount per tail, but I don't know, and it'll say previously frozen, but I don't know how long it's been pulled out of their freezer. I don't.
Okay, I think we've got to reconnect with Chef Eric in just a matter of moments. We certainly know that we're Skyping in because obviously we're all self-distancing. Here's a way for you to be able to order. These have been very popular. I think you're back. Chef, are you back?
I can hear, I've heard you the whole time. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you just froze.
Well, that might have just been me. That might not even been the internet connection.
So you wanted to finish making your point, or did you forget?
Where did we leave off? What was the last thing you heard?
Heck, are you kidding me?
All right, so my point is that when you see lobster tails at a supermarket, you don't know if it's a Maine lobster tail, for one. Number two, always previously frozen, and I don't know how long that tail has been sitting in that seafood case. I like to know that I'm getting something directly from the source, from the Gulf of Down East Maine in Stonington, Maine.
Yes.
That is going to be delivered to my door, and I know that this literally came from the water, got quickly flash frozen, and is being delivered to my door.
I agree.
I can do so many different things with this. And it's, you know, it's a like you say, it is an informed purchase, but this is decadent, and not all lobster tails are created the same. I prefer cold water as opposed to warm water. I just think that there's a lot more flavor, and that really is the difference.
Well, Barbara says she's from Minnesota and she can't get fresh lobster, and I love the idea that there's no middle person. These are all natural, right from the fishermen and women directly to you. If you would love to order special pricing, single ship or auto ship, don't forget, if you've been thinking about opening up an HSN card, you'll get $40 off, and everybody gets this on FlexPay. So it's hard to find great fresh seafood. Spread those payments out and know that you'll have your freezer or deep freezer with lobster anytime that you love. Great for surf and turf, great for grilling as Memorial Day is coming up in just a little